Every day, we leave a minute-by-minute log of our presence in the world, from the crosswalk at the corner, to the elevator at work, to the lobby of the airport terminal. A network of lenses quietly archives our movements. We step into these monitored spaces with a quiet sense of confidence. Our presence there is governed by a specific social expectation that being seen is the same thing as being protected. We assume the camera's presence is enough to hold a bad actor at bay. Then a camera has no agency whatsoever. It cannot reach out to stop a crime, catch a falling body, or intervene in a crisis. It is a passive observer. It only records. The most unsettling footage of human tragedy does not involve ghosts or the paranormal. It is the cold, silent documentation of the exact moments our systems of safety simply cease to function. On a typical evening in Clapham, marketing executive Sarah Everard was walking home from a friend's house. She was actively on the phone with her boyfriend, adhering to every standard pedestrian safety rule for walking at night in a major city. Security footage caught her being pulled over on a busy street by a metropolitan police officer. To anyone watching from a passing car, it appeared to be a routine, legitimate police stop. The man initiating the stop was Wayne Couzens, an active duty officer in the Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command. He weaponized the visual authority of his uniform to bypass her defenses in plain sight. By presenting his official police warrant card and citing a breach of strict COVID-19 regulations, Couzens removed any social avenue for Sarah to refuse his orders. The laws implemented to keep the public safe became the tools used to abduct her. An hour after forcing her into his rental car, a gas station camera captured Couzens calmly buying snacks as if he were on a normal night shift. He would later confess to dumping her body 80 miles from the city. This footage documents the precise moment a community's trust in its own protectors was dismantled. In this case, the predator didn't have to hide in the shadows. He used the light of the law to commit his crime. If public streets carry inherent risks, we often assume high-end private spaces offer a higher tier of security. Consider a luxury hotel in Dubai. Mahmoud al-Mabou, a senior Hamas commander, checked into room 230 to rest. He was acutely aware of his personal security, having survived multiple prior assassination attempts. While al-Mabou was out, a disguised hit squad simply reprogrammed his electronic door lock, walked inside, and waited. Pulling back, the massive scale of the infiltration becomes clear. Police tracked 26 individual agents communicating via radio, moving through the monitored halls with absolute synchronization. When al-Mabou returned for the night, the waiting team injected him with a paralytic drug, suffocated him, meticulously cleaned the room, and slipped out of the country in small groups, all in under 24 hours. The high-end physical barriers and encrypted locks meant nothing to a team that simply worked around them. The entire security apparatus of the hotel provided documentation of the event, but offered no actual resistance. Beyond the scope of human intent, the natural world offers its own, clinical form of lethality. In 2005, world record diver David Shaw descended into Bushman's Hole to recover the remains of a young man who had died a decade earlier. At 270 meters deep, the effort to breathe is immense. A heart rate spike means his equipment couldn't scrub lethal CO2, but the math changed at the target. The decade-old remains turned into buoyant adipocere, floating upward and tangling directly into Shaw's safety lines. Shaw's helmet camera recorded the final minutes of the mission. His hands visibly struggled as he tried to cut the tangled cables. His breathing deteriorated into a high-pitched rasp as carbon dioxide poisoned his system, until his movement finally stopped entirely. 3 days later, as support divers attempted to retrieve the deep-sea equipment, the lines floated up to the surface. Both Shaw and the diver he promised to recover were bound together by the same cable. Shaw understood the physics of the deep perfectly, but that mastery was instantly undone by a single unpredictable physical anomaly, a body that floated when it should have stayed sunk. These recordings leave us with vastly different resolutions. Some serve as key evidence to secure life sentences, while others serve only to recover the tragic final moments of people who ran out of options. And in a world covered in lenses, some footage yields zero answers. We have the tapes of a math prodigy found locked inside a duffel bag in an MI6 safe house, and of a man sprinting over an 8-foot barbed wire fence into a sunflower field, never to be seen again. Cameras do not care who you are, what your skills are, or how closely you follow the rules of a safe society. They possess no empathy and offer no intervention. The finality of the lens is that it preserves the exact moment a system fails, long after we have stopped watching. It archives the truth of our situations, but it remains entirely indifferent to the outcome.